Charles, you have kids, right?
Yes.
And what's the most common way you hear people, other parents, saving for college for their kids?
Definitely 529s.
Makes me cringe a little.
Me as well. So before we jump into this one-pager, we're going to give Carly some kudos. She went to an industry event against all of our peers, and with this one-pager, she actually won the award for the best one-page design. So Carly, go ahead and explain to our advisors how powerful this strategy is versus 529s.
Well, I think that the 529s are the most common route for college savings because they're built for it, and it's a good vehicle. It's based in the market. My biggest concern is that the 529 money is in the market, and so there's market volatility. And if we have another 2008, our kids are going to end up having to come home from school if the market tanks.
And that actually happened to some of, I was managing money in 2008, and we actually had kids that were out of state using their 529, and insult to injury, there was a huge market correction, and they still needed the money. Those kids had to come home and go to community colleges.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, but when we need the money for something other than college, you're going to get taxed and penalized for using that money. So now you've been taxed on the seed, the money you invested in there because it's discretionary income, and taxed on the harvest, which is just outrageous to me. And so we came up with an alternative, and it's called the 529 alternative, in which we're using indexed universal life insurance to help plan for college. So you'll take the same amount of money that you would have put into your 529 plan. Our example shows $300 a month, which when I've talked to other parents is about what they're putting into their 529.
Yep.
And you're going to see about the same growth in your IUL, because you have to remember your IUL has no market volatility. So on down years, you have a 0% floor, and you can earn up to the cap, usually about 12%. And so over the course, if you're putting in $300 a year, starting with a 3-year-old child, over the course of their childhood through age 17, you're going to end up in your 529 plan, you're going to have about $85,000 to use for their college. You'll end up with about the same amount in your IUL. And so you can use those funds in a couple different ways. You could do just a annual distribution each year for 4 or 5 years, however long it takes for your child to get through college, and pay a chunk of their college. It's about $15,000 when we illustrate at 7%. Or
one of the ways we like to set this up is to have the child take out student loans during the 4 or 5 years that they're at school, and then the parent who's in control of this strategy, this policy, they can elect at that time period to pay off the student loans using a cash surrender value loan.
And when we do that, the student has a little skin in the game because that loan is going to be in their name, and so they're a little more motivated to perform well at college. But we take out just a little bit less than the max cash surrender value to pay off that loan. So if there's $85,000 in there, we'll take out $75,000 and pay off a really nice chunk of that loan. And then we leave the last $10,000 in there. And this is, I think, what won that competition, because this is the piece that I haven't heard before except from our office. We leave that last $10,000 in there, and we just let it grow till the child, no longer a child, turns 65 and needs retirement income. And at that point, they can start taking out just over $100,000 each year for the rest of their life. So your $300 a month, ages 3 through 17, has now set them up for college and for retirement.
That's powerful.
And you have to keep in mind, it's tax-free.